Henry Forrest was a force, a titan of industry. He'd amassed a fortune. But age? Age he saw as a weakness. His reflection showed lines, wrinkles, each one a crack in his empire. He craved youth, sought it like a holy grail. One name echoed in his search, Ainsley. A brilliant if naive scientist. He promised a breakthrough, a serum, a chance to cheat time. Henry saw not just life, but more power within reach. He poured his fortune into Ainsley's research. His obsession grew with each passing day. His penthouse became a cage, his empire a burden. All meaningless without his goal, Henry became a recluse. He pushed away friends, colleagues. Only the promise of youth mattered. His obsession bordered on madness.
Henry's money fueled my ambition, but I saw more than just a paycheck. I saw potential, a cure for diseases, a chance to ease suffering. My goals were noble.
Ainsley was young, brilliant but young. He saw the project as a challenge, a chance to make history. He worked tirelessly, fueled by caffeine and passion. The serum was his life's work. But doubts lingered. Nature was a delicate balance, his creation a disruption. He voiced his concerns to Henry, warned him of the unknowns, but the Tycoon wouldn't listen. He was blinded by his desire. The lab was sterile, cold, a stark contrast to Henry's opulent life. He paced impatiently. His eyes darted around, hungry for results.
It's unstable, untested.
"Is it ready?" he demanded, his voice a strained whisper. Ainsley, hesitant, held up a vial. The liquid shimmered an ethereal blue. But Henry didn't care. He saw his salvation. He snatched the vial, his eyes gleaming with a desperate hope. He ignored Ainsley's pleas, his warnings. He was a man possessed. He filled the syringe, his hand trembling with anticipation. "Wait!" Ainsley cried out. He listed the risks, the potential consequences. He spoke of cellular degeneration, of unforeseen mutations. But his words were lost on Henry. The Tycoon saw only his reflection, the wrinkles, the sagging skin. He jabbed the needle into his vein. A blue fire surged through him. He gasped, his eyes wide with a mixture of fear and exhilaration. Ainsley watched in horror. He had hoped to use the serum for good, to heal, to extend life, not to fuel one man's vanity. But it was too late. The deed was done. He could only observe and pray that the consequences wouldn't be as dire as he feared. Henry roared, a primal scream echoing through the lab. His body contorted, bones cracking, skin stretching. He crumpled to the floor, writhing in agony. Ainsley backed away, fear gripping his heart. The transformation was swift, brutal. Henry's aged flesh melted away. His features softened, becoming smooth, cherubic. He was no longer the imposing figure he once was. He was small, helpless, a newborn infant, lying naked and vulnerable on the cold lab floor. His cries were weak, filled with fear and confusion. He had his youth, but at what cost? Ainsley stared at the infant, a wave of nausea washing over him. This was not the victory Henry had envisioned. The Tycoon, the manipulator, the ruthless businessman was gone, reduced to a helpless babe. His empire, his fortune, his power, all meaningless now. He was a blank slate, innocent, yes, but utterly powerless, a cruel twist of fate. Henry had gotten what he wished for, youth. But in his greed he had failed to consider the true meaning of his desire. He had sought to cheat time, to bend nature to his will, and nature in its own way had exacted its revenge.